everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach. I'm joined by Cristian Garcia.
Happy Thanksgiving. Can we still call it that? What is it called? Happy
Indigenous People Slaughtering Day.
Yeah, Happy Eat Food Day.
Yeah. So hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week, and I hope none of you shopped on Black Friday because you're part of the problem.
I'm actually surprised Black Friday's still a thing.
Yeah.
I would think with online shopping, it just have people do it there.
Well, I think what it comes down to is there's still a lot of dumb people out there,
but they're out there all year long, Cody.
Well, I know that they just come out of the woodwork around the holiday time. The reason why I say that is because if you look across all the big manufacturers or retailers like Target and Best Buy and Walmart and stuff, they've all already started their Black Friday season sales, right? Yeah. So, but there's still going to be a shit ton of people coming out on Friday. Where are the deals at? Well, I'm they're sold out because they've been sold for a week. So all the smarties got it before you.
The only thing I can imagine is people lining up for PS5 still.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
They're still hard to get, right? I stopped carrying once.
Yeah, they're still hard to get for sure. Even the Xbox Series X is still hard to get. The Series S, a little bit easier. Fun fact, I just bought a Series S refurbished.
For Halo.
Yeah, baby. So should be getting that hopefully within a week.
Gears of War would be the only one that might get me to do it.
Yeah, Gears of War and Halo are my two favorite Xbox. Or if they ever do another Fable, which I think they might, that might be a cool one. That was always an Xbox exclusive. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Thank you for liking and subscribing, clicking the little notification bell button down at the bottom if you're on YouTube, or following us and subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all those sites. We do appreciate it. It's the best way to support the show. You can also support us by becoming one of our patrons, going to patreon.com. It's the season of giving. So,
give us the money.
Yeah, help us have a very nerdy Christmas.
You want that OnlyFans to happen. Got to buy props.
Exactly.
Butt plugs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, more stuff. Butt plugs.
More butt plugs.
Yeah. And since the holiday season is officially upon us, we're going to be talking about some nerdy gift ideas this episode for the nerd in your life. Some fun little Christmas, Festivus, Hanukkah trinkets, whatever, Kwanzaa, if you're a Kwanzaa guy. Festivus for the rest of us. So we'll be having some of those after the break. And then we're also going to be doing a review of Ghostbusters Afterlife, which we both saw. And then, of course, Nerdy Confessions like we always do. So a pretty packed episode. So strap in. We're going to be talking about some nerdy shit. Let's start it off like we always do with some nerdy confessions, where we confess things that make us nerds. Cristian.
I had one, and then I switched it because we were talking about it before the show. But so, my nerdy confession is I made the missus watch Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp.
It's one of those awesome 80s horror movies that probably would never happen today.
Big old twist at the end.
You know what was crazy is that she's usually very good at calling things early. She's like, that's the killer, or that's the person, or this is going to happen. I'm just enjoy the movie. Okay, you're smart. I get it.
We get it.
But, she did not see that one coming.
Yeah. Hard to see that one coming, for sure.
She did not see the mangled... Oh, spoilers. Where's the spoiler button? It was a mangled dick. I mean, it wasn't a mangled dick that did it, but, so it was what would be the proper thing? She never said.
She would be a trans person.
She'd be trans, but, we never really get to hear if she wants to be referred as a girl.
Yeah, I know.
It was forced upon her.
I know.
So
gender politics leaking into 80s horror movies.
Yeah. I wonder. See, that's the problem with the movie. That's the real horror stories. No one asked her what her pronouns were.
Yeah, the whole... the kind of the big twist at the end is that the little girl who's been with them the entire time is actually a little boy who's been made to dress like a little girl.
Yeah, so there's a boating accident in the beginning. And I thought, at the end of the movie, and because the penis is so messed up, I thought, maybe it was an accident and they had to, force her to be a girl, so it would just make sense. But no, that was the person's real penis. That was not prosthetic. That was not, part of the storyline.
That's not part of the storyline.
It's just that you just had an unfortunate dick.
I mean, I don't exactly remember.
I paused it a lot. Not for the dick, but for the mask. I was like, dude, that's a great mask of that girl on that guy. Because when I first saw it, I was like, dude, they didn't have CGI like that back then. So I was like pausing and looking at it, and of course I was looking at the dick too, because it looked weird. Go back and watch it. It's a weird dick.
Yeah, it's a whole weird scene. Well, I'm glad she enjoyed it.
Yeah, she was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That should be the twist at the end of all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies now. It's just like, nah, just kidding. He has a dick.
His dick. Or she has a dick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or he doesn't have a dick.
Yeah, or he doesn't have a dick.
Oh, twist. We're like, that's not a twist. It's just a weird storyline.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I just forgot rewatching how many fucking creepy guys there were. A lot of old perverts, like pedophiles trying to get at the camp girls. Like, dude, like parents were okay with letting their kids just be there. And I mean, I get that they're acting, but still, like, I don't know, I'd be uncomfortable with my kid.
Yeah, man. The 80s were a different time.
Wild time. Lots of cocaine.
Wild time, yeah. Okay, well, that was interesting. My nerdy confession. I'll do a couple rapid fire ones because for once in our life, there's been a shit ton of content coming out.
I haven't seen Hawkeye, if that's what you're going to mention.
Well, I'll mention that real quickly. So in the past week, I've seen Hawkeye. The first 2 episodes dropped on Disney Plus.
Oh, they did too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they
wow.
did too.
Nice.
So far, very mediocre, but hopefully it'll pick up a little bit, right?
Falcon Winter Soldier kind of started like that too.
Right, exactly. So, I'm not going to judge it too harshly. Cowboy Bebop is out on Netflix.
I've only seen like a quarter of the first episode.
So you watched the opening credits?
I've watched. Actually, yeah, right after that and right when they were like, I guess going through that warp thing. And then I was like, oh, I'm sleepy. I'm going to bed.
Sure. What I will say real quick about Cowboy Bebop, I really enjoyed it. I think it's really worth watching if you're a fan of the anime, or if you're not. It's got great soundtrack, action, and comedy in it. I was hesitant because I wasn't sure if it was going to be good, but I was actually pretty pleased with it. I think if you're a fan of the anime, it's different enough where you don't know exactly what's going to happen next. You can kind of guess some things. But it's faithful enough to the anime where it's like there's certain episodes that they just straight up redo from the anime. So very good. I really like John Cho as Spike, and I forget the guy's name who is Jet Black, but he's great. Like, he kills it. He's probably the best cast person.
He's the captain?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the bad guy from Luke Cage, the Jamaican guy.
One of the bad guys, yeah. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think he's going to be a really good up-and-coming actor. Well, I mean, not up-and-coming because he's been in several shit things now, but...
You can say shit on the show. It's fine.
Well, he's been in several shit. It doesn't make sense.
He's been in a lot of shit.
He's been in several shit.
He's been the shits.
Many of a singular thing. But Cowboy Bebop, very good. And lastly, Wheel of Time. Holy shit.
Yeah, you told me. It keeps popping up. I keep meaning to watch it, but there's so many.
First 3 episodes are out, or 4 episodes by the time you're listening to this will be out on Amazon Prime. And it's really good. They've changed a bunch of stuff because they're trying to do the whole first book in first season, and they're like Brandon Sanderson / George R. Martin sized books, so real thick boys.
Is this Amazon's first original show?
No, not at all.
No, because I know they were doing The Dark Tower, which fucking bummed me out because I heard they filmed it and it sounded amazing.
No, they've done quite a bit,
and they're doing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're doing Lord of the Rings. They did the Marvelous Miss Maisel, which won several Emmys or whatever.
What?
They've done the new Jack Ryan movie with Jim from The Office is also very good. It's not a movie, it's a series.
That was a good
one. Yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff. And I think, generally speaking, they're hitting more often than Netflix is now, which is pretty cool.
Oh, another good show that you should check out, 30 Coins on HBO. 30 monedas. It takes place in Spain. It's a cool enough horror show.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed. It wasn't as good as Midnight Mass, but it's entertaining.
Okay, I've also heard there's a new one on Netflix called like Ghost something.
You're talking about the Korean
new Korean one.
That's a Hellhound.
Hellhound. Hellghost.
Hellhound. I'm pretty sure.
That one is supposed to be pretty good. They're saying it's about the same popularity as Squid Game so far, which is and people already want a sequel. So
there's too much stuff. Too much stuff.
Holiday season, they keep giving it to us, and we'll keep taking it. But yeah, Wheel of Time, Cowboy Bebop, and what was the other one I said?
Hellhound.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
All good stuff. Check them out. Lots of good stuff. Speaking of good stuff that's coming out, we're finally getting into that holiday movie season. And one of the ones that, we've had a rough time with movies recently, right? Like James Bond. Did you ever see James Bond? It was all right.
I'm forbidden from watching it because the missus is pissed off at, like, anytime we go watch a movie, it's like 10 commercials for that Bond movie. And then they have the Bond video game from your cell phone and they'll play on repeat. So I can't watch it.
Bond, James Bond. It was all right. It wasn't anything fantastic. Then there was Eternals, which was like meh. It
was very meh.
Our 2 episodes ago, we talked about that one. Very meh. Black Widow was also very meh.
It was better than Eternals.
Better than Eternals
because it had some like really funny stuff. The sibling rivalry was awesome. For me, it was just Taskmaster. It was just terrible. I couldn't get over it.
And also just the time that when it took place was also like strange. So we've had a kind of a rough time with movies lately. But luckily that time has come to an end because we just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. The new one directed by Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, director of the first 2 movies. He actually grew up on set of the original ones. Like spoiler-free warning or spoiler-free review of it right now is definitely go see it. If you're a fan of the original, like 2 movies, or even the first one, just the first one, because this is primarily a sequel to the first movie. It's great. Like
I would say it's after the second. I mean, it's obviously after the second.
Well, yeah, but the storyline has to do
related to the first one.
Yeah, exactly to the first one. So if you did not see the second Ghostbusters at all, you wouldn't be lost.
No.
Right? But if you haven't seen the first one, you'd be a little lost. I mean, they do enough kind of recapping so you can kind of get it, but I mean, who hasn't seen Ghostbusters, right? But would you say worth watching?
Yeah, for sure. It was. I enjoyed it. I was glad. I was so happy to watch in the big screen.
Yep.
I guess if we're doing spoiler free,
we'll do spoiler.
It was great. That little girl is an amazing actress. I want to see her in more stuff. She was great.
I thought all the kids were great.
Yeah.
The
Stranger Things.
The kid named Podcast. Shout out Podcast. Dude, that kid was hella funny.
Yeah.
Stranger Kids thing. He's always solid. The only one who I feel like didn't really bring a lot to the table was roller derby girl.
Oh, the love interest.
Yeah, love interest. She was very much like the Winston of the group. You know what I mean?
She's black. Is that what it is?
No, I'm just saying because like she didn't. She's had a couple funny lines here and there, but she didn't add to the overall chemistry.
In fact, you could have cut her out and the movie would.
Yeah, it would have been fine. Yeah, just like Winston. Sorry, sorry, Ernie Ray Hudson. That's his name, Ernie Hudson.
I believe so.
I think I'm combining him with Ray Parker Jr., who wrote the song, the Ghostbusters song. All right, so go see it if you haven't. Now we're going to jump into some spoilers and go over some of the deeper stuff. So, spoiler alert, coming at you. So, before we get into spoilers, I should say I got to see this in 4DX. Have you seen anything in those yet?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it was fun.
Really?
So 4DX is a new movie format where it's kind of like D-Box, if you've ever seen those D-Box.
Yeah, they took those away. I actually enjoyed D-Box.
Where it kind of moves and stuff. It's like D-Box on fucking cocaine.
Oh.
So you sit in the seats, and I will say the seats are not as comfortable as like luxury loungers. I mean, they can't be because they move around. But they're in groups of 4, kind of like a Disneyland attraction or something. And they have these little platforms where you put your feet on. And I mean, this thing is freaking shaking you all over the place.
So I'm assuming when they were driving in the...
Oh, dude, it was like if you're taking a sip of your soda and it cuts into a car chase, dude, you're spilling your soda all over you. Also, they'll shoot smoke out from... near the screen and stuff, if something's smoking on screen.
From your chair onto you?
No, from the different sides of the theater. And then there's there's like strobe lights that go off up on the near the ceiling if like they're using the proton packs or something like
That's
that.
awesome.
And then they'll even like remember at the end when the guy gets torn in half, ripped in half, like they shoot water at your face. It's like, oh, you get splattered by it. It's really fun, man. It's very much
which theater has these seats?
The one by Stonestown, the Regal Cinemas.
The new one.
Ones will generally have it, yeah. It was a nice theater too. Like I enjoyed it. But yeah, man, it was really fun. It's very much like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, if you remember that from Disneyland, where like when the ants would run by, they'd hit your legs with stuff. They have that kind of stuff going on.
That's creepy. I don't know if I'd like that.
It's cool, man.
I don't think I'd like the wet thing. I'd be like, someone just fucking spit on me. What the fuck?
So there's like a button where you can turn off the water stuff. Where
That's smart. That's fucking smart.
But come on, man. If you're going to go, you might as well fucking go all the way. All right.
I get grossed out easily. I don't know. Like with that kind of stuff, I don't know. Someone could have like put something in there. I don't know. My mind goes to weird places.
You hope so, right? Hopefully it's real spit.
Yeah.
See?
So
this movie takes place far after the original movie does, but it's definitely a continuation of the first movie's storyline. So we're dealing with Gozer, we're dealing with Zool. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man makes an appearance.
That I will say was the only thing that's slightly annoyed me. They were trying so hard to make these things as like toys for kids.
Oh,
like, to go
100%.
Like I was like, all right, I get it. They're cute and they're small.
I mean, I had hella Ghostbuster toys back when I was a kid.
But did you have any of the Stay Puft?
No, that one was too expensive.
See, I don't know.
He was out there though. He was out there for sure. So kind of the premise of the story is that Egon
He's an asshole.
He like abandons his family and buys this farm out in the middle of nowhere in Ohio or something like that. And like his family, he ends up, dying of natural causes. And his family inherits this farmhouse, and so they go out there and they're digging through all this stuff, and they're broke. So they're just trying to salvage this house as best they can. And come to find out that he went out there because, I don't know if you remember this or not, but they mentioned the guy. I forget the guy's name now.
They mentioned him as the architect of the building.
In the first movie, yep. Right?
I forgot his name too. They said his name.
Shandor. That's what it is. Shandor.
And I watched 1 and 2 yesterday. I should remember.
Yeah. And he's basically trying to bring Gozer to our plane of existence, and who knows why, because he's evil and whatnot.
No, he said. So spoilers. So towards the end, when Gozer comes back, and he's like in this Snow White coffin thing or whatever,
right.
And he gets up and he's like, me and you will rule this this planet or this world together, and then she just rips him in half. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, and that's when they splattered us with water, is when they ripped him in half. Also, when the dogs would come out, they would like shoot mist in your face, like they were slobbering on you. It's so cool. So it's a bunch of kids doing most of the ghost busting, but Paul Rudd's in there, and like I love Paul Rudd. He steals every fucking scene that he's in. It was cool
to see him play a scientist and not be a dum-dum like he normally plays.
Yeah, exactly. He's still like, a Paul Rudd guy, but he's making all these funny jokes and stuff. He was amazing.
The interaction between him and the little girl was hilarious.
Right.
Where she like knew as much as him, if not more. And he's like, why do you know that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I know what a seismic map looks like. He's like, oh, of course you do.
Like, why do I assume would a child not know that?
Yeah, exactly.
Although I thought it was really, obviously it was funny in a film, but like in real life, when the little girl presents him with the trap, the ghost trap, and he knows because he lived through it. Right. He knew who the Ghostbusters were. He knew what that was, and he he thought it was just like a replica, which would have been fine. But when she tells no, this thing is real, he's like, oh, well, we gotta open it. Yeah. Like, why would you do? Like, he's a smart guy. Like, he knows, we shouldn't open that. Like,
yeah, but he's curious.
I mean, I get that too.
Science is badass and rock and roll.
What did he say? Yeah, science is dangerous.
Yeah, science flirts the edge of danger.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would want to open it, but I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not a scientist. Like, I probably would have opened it.
Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, not a great idea.
And I love that he put the podcast in the car. It's like, or the big ass school bus. He's like, all right, rip it, like turn it on.
Yeah. One thing I have a bone to pick with every movie that tries to display what a podcast is. Like,
wait, you tell me you didn't like a Godzilla with
dude. I was so mad
at King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, that's what it was. King Kong Godzilla. Yeah, like a lot of people just don't understand what exactly a podcast is. My dad is one of them. He has no idea what I do every Wednesday.
I feel like they usually paint podcasters as like guys who have no followers.
It's like the news, but they're like, talking to themselves or whatever.
It's either that, or if you've seen I only seen part of it, what Kevin Smith did with the Walrus movie. Like they're either like super rich and like make a shit ton of money,
full production value, like Joe Rogan style.
Yeah, or like what Kevin Smith has. Like, all right, dude, you've never been like an indie, broke ass podcast. Like, but yeah, it is interesting.
I also got a bone to pick with celebrities starting podcasts, or YouTube channels, like Brie Larson when she started her YouTube channel. I'm like,
she has a YouTube channel?
Yeah, that was a big deal, and like she was doing like workout tips and stuff. I'm like, you're fucking Brie Larson. Shut your mouth. Your workout tip is you get paid to work 3 months out of the year, and you get paid millions of dollars. So you can
just gotta show your face, and some of us have to grind out here and get followers and listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering selling pictures of our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're like this close to like jerking off on camera,
or jerking each other off
on camera.
On camera.
Yeah, exactly. The audio from that's going to be terrible for our audio listeners. No, slower. So there's a kid who calls himself Podcast, which I think he was super funny and his character was great. He really plays like the role of Ray in the movie, where he's like super enthusiastic and like almost too much so. And but like he's constantly like narrating like a movie, like she gazes off into the distance, unsure of what's to come, and it's like that's not what a podcast is.
Depends if he's doing an audio drama, but then again, one would argue that it's not a podcast.
But he's also doing like research. It's fucking stupid.
It's not the kid's fault.
It's not his fault. It's just whoever wrote that role did not understand. You're like, yeah, he's just a kid who's weird and is always recording stuff. All right, fine. They uncover like in Egon's old barn. They have the Ecto 1, which was awesome. The Ecto 1 had all sorts of upgrades that we never got to see in the other movies. Like the gunner chair was super sick.
Yeah, in the
RC trap, remote control car trap.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not a. Well, yeah.
No, he had like a little, it was like a RC car with.
Watching that scene with the car and the gunner and like the drone trap, I was like, that would be a fun video game. A 3-person like video game where like one is driving, one's the gunner, and then one is the trap. Like that would be a lot of fun.
Right. That would be really fun.
Even like if it was like arcade style, like that would be dope. I don't know if you could make a whole full video game out of that, but
that's true.
It would be fun to play.
It would be maybe like at a Universal Studios or something like that. They could have like a ride. Like
Disney doesn't own it because if Disney did that right, that'd be fucking dope.
That'd be fucking sick. Yeah, it's one of the few.
Buy it, Disney.
It's one of the few things that Disney doesn't own. So, and we do get cameos from the original remaining Ghostbusters at the end. A little bit more of Dan Aykroyd. He's kind of in the middle as well.
Well, he wrote the movie somewhat. He wrote the idea, and then someone took it and just made it better.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool seeing all of them kind of suit back up, and like they didn't totally look like they didn't want to be there.
Bill Murray looked like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, but he still had some fun little lines and stuff. Like, you could kind of tell he was probably got into it on like towards the end of the day of shooting or whatever. But yeah, it was fun seeing them all back. They had a nice little tribute there to Harold Ramis at the end. They fucking CG'd him.
He looked great,
like fucking Tupac style. And I think honestly, like that was a great way of doing it because he's a ghost.
I was actually really happy they didn't speak. I thought that was
right.
It would have been a little bit weird if he spoke. So
right.
I did enjoy that. And it was awesome. The little girl finally got to
meet her
grandfather. He helped her out.
Yeah, like when she's holding the proton pack on Gozer, and you see the hand grab it. I'm like, oh, like fucking tears start welling up in my eye. I'm like, it's Egon. I love him. I thought they did a really good job of paying tribute to him and having all the other Ghostbusters kind of say goodbye to him kind of thing. I thought that was all really, really well done.
Yeah.
Gozer, we should say, it looked like it was Olivia Munn. I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm pretty sure.
No, not Olivia Munn. Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, Gozer got hotter.
Gozer's super hot. She was hot in the first one, too.
I said hotter. I didn't say, like, she's hot now.
Yeah. It's like, I'm down for that weird, sparkly, androgynous look.
Bring over that. No, it wasn't a mohawk. That flat top. Bring that over.
Yeah, flat top.
Bring over those bloodshot eyes.
Like exactly. I'll be your keymaster.
Someone blew coke in your face or something.
Dude, the keymaster and gatekeeper with Paul Rudd and the mom was super funny.
Oh, yeah. I love that they basically said that they smashed, but they were trying not to say that they smashed. But like they
third base at least, I think they said. I thought it was funny how she pulls off her clothes and has that sparkly dress that Sigourney Weaver was wearing under it, and he's just sitting there with like cut off jean shorts and like his hair's all messed up and his shirt's unbuttoned.
I also enjoyed that they used some practical effects for the
dogs.
For the dogs.
Yeah.
It wasn't all just CG.
I thought it all looked really good. Like, let's do a quick comparison to this compared to the piece of shit that came out in 2016. Right? So the Ghost...
You're going to get so much hate for that. You're going to get... I didn't say anything.
I don't care. Women don't belong in movies. I'm just kidding. Well, let's...
It had nothing to do with the women. It was just bad.
It was just poorly written, poorly
individually,
executed.
All those ladies are fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
we've all seen them in things.
And Paul... was his name Paul Feig, the guy who directed that one?
I don't know.
Who did Bridesmaids? Like, Bridesmaids was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know where the ball dropped on it.
It was just really, really bad. I think a big part of it came from like that the 2016 movie just kind of ignored the original Ghostbusters. And yeah, they had like Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Bill Murray in it, but they weren't playing Ghostbusters. So it's like they tried to ignore it completely, what happened in the beginning. And you didn't really have... One of the things that made the original Ghostbusters so good is that you have these four actors, right? You have, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Harold Ramis. They're each playing their own different character, right? You have, Dan Aykroyd, who's like super overly enthusiastic and excitable. He's just like super into it, super enthusiastic. You have Bill Murray, who's basically like too cool to be there the whole time, but he makes all these like sly little one-off jokes and stuff in the background. You have Egon, who is
all business,
super serious, super dry, and that's what's funny about him. And then you have Ernie Hudson, who's just a normal dude who's just trying to pick up a paycheck, thrown in between all three of these guys. And
that was supposed to be Eddie Murphy. That part was written for.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing.
It would have been definitely like R-rated or something. It would have been.
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
Eddie Murphy would have been,
or even like a Richard Pryor. He was still. Pretty active back then.
Well, I mean, so was it Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Eddie Murphy were all in SNL. So he had written those parts for them. And then for whatever reason, I think Eddie Murphy just got too big.
Too big, too fast. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, so they were each their own character. When you look at the 2016 movie, every single one of them is like Jokey McJokerson constantly trying to, make hilarious, funny jokes 100 times a minute. And that doesn't work because you don't have any sort of like back and forth. They're all like the super funny joke person.
Also, you can be funny in different ways. Like Egon was fucking funny in both movies.
Right. Yeah, but he's not making one-liners and doing like a bunch of like zingers and stuff.
No, like I was just watching the second one where he's testing out if people's emotions affect physical things in rooms. So like you have a divorced couple that's fighting, and then you have a girl with a puppy, and like Sigourney Weaver's character is asking about Bill Murray, and he's like, "Oh, has he been asking about him?" And he's like, "No." And then he takes out his little reader, like trying to scan her to see. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Like he was trying to read like to see if he can get like an emotion from her.
Or like when Janine's like, "So, what do you like to do for fun?" He's like, "I collect various spores and funguses."
Yeah.
And you saw those in this movie, right?
Oh no!
So in that cabinet down in his underground research lab, there's just a bunch of different spores.
That's
and
fucking hilarious. No,
I was like, that's great.
That's so yeah. Good. I mean, there's another time like it was in the. I remember the second one more because that was the last one I watched. But
Vigo the Carpathian.
I've heard people shit on the second. I fucking love the second one. The second one's awesome.
I like both the original ones. I think the first one maybe I like a little bit better, but I thought they were both very good.
Yeah, and Dan Aykroyd adds Egon, or asks him like, "Oh, didn't you have any toys?" He's like, "We had a toy." He's like,
"Yeah,
we had we had part of a slinky."
Yeah.
It's like, I straightened it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's and he's like, you can be funny in different ways.
Right. 100%. And that's what I think the 2016 movie failed at, was that they didn't make, those characters weren't individuals. They were just all like, improv jokers. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's not what made Ghostbusters great. This movie
Chris Hemsworth was funny, but
which one?
Chris Hemsworth.
He was pretty funny.
We're gonna sound so misogynistic. We're not.
But
it had nothing to do with the ladies.
Well, here's the thing, though. This movie, the main protagonist is a girl.
Yeah, and she wasn't trying to. In fact, well, she was trying. She wanted to make friends, and she wanted to be funny.
She's socially awkward, just like Egon. And like one of the funny things that like they had her do was like she had learned a bunch of like stupid jokes, really dumb jokes.
And it was funny. They were funny because of how bad they were.
Yeah, exactly. Like, one of them was like, why don't you ever trust an atom? Because they make up everything.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Right? So stupid jokes like that. And so it's funny because she's a dry, socially awkward nerd, but then you have the brother who's like, just trying to get his dick wet at the local drive-in, right?
I was gonna say Cody, he's a child, but that's what all
definitely the Bill Murray of the group, right? Then you have Podcast, who is 100% Dan Aykroyd, Ray Stantz.
Even had the little hair a little bit.
Yeah, the hair, the sticking up hair. He was wearing the same goggles that Ray wore in the original one, and he's like super juiced about everything. He's just like 100% in. And then, like I said, we have the Ernie Hudson, the girl from the drive-in. Guess not a drive-in.
Was this roller something? Restaurant?
Like I guess it is a drive-in restaurant, like Sonic's or whatever. And she's just kind of like the normal person thrown into this wacky world, kind of dealing with it. So it's not like they were doing anything revolutionary, but they still had a female-led movie that was hilarious, paid tribute to the original one, and did some new stuff in it too, So I don't know. I thought it was very well done, and a fitting tribute to Harold Ramis.
One thing I wanted to say is they got very lucky when the equipment was locked up in jail, and they're like, oh, how do we get it out? And they're like, oh, the trap, and they get Muncher out. I'm like, Muncher didn't have to eat those bars to get out. He could have just flown out as a ghost.
Yeah.
Because he was flying through things. Like, they got very lucky that he ate that thing.
That's true.
That was like the one I was like, well, that couldn't have worked. Like,
I mean, if you're going to have a ghost that eats metal, you're going to have that be important to the movie. You know what I mean?
He's trying to murder those children. He shot fucking essentially bullets at them.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, go check it out. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Definitely worth watching. If you love the originals, you'll love this one.
The one cameo we didn't see was Slimer, which...
Yeah, it was a little surprising. Sigourney Weaver is in the after credit scene. There are 2 after credit scenes, which I kind of mentioned to you, like, they were cool because they gave us a little bit more of the original Ghostbusters, but they didn't really have anything to do with anything.
No. Well, the first one might suggest that there might be another movie. It kind of hinted at it.
Yeah.
Because Winston becomes, I don't know, a successful businessman or a banker.
Yeah.
I forgot what they said he was. But, he's got money, and turns out he's been paying Ray's rent for his store because his store doesn't sell shit. And he's held on to the
original firehouse.
The original firehouse, and he took the car back. So
yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll see some more in the future of him, like, bankrolling the kids as they grow up or something.
Or a new team. Who knows?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm down.
How easily do people forget what the Ghostbusters do? Save the world twice, and people still act like there's no ghosts.
Yeah. Man, that was in the 80s. That's some old shit. I don't care about that.
But it was just like even in the second one, like, oh, it was 5 years later. Oh, you saved the world. Whatever.
That was 5 years ago, man. A lot of shit's happened since then.
Ghosts aren't real. I just saw like 100-foot giant walking marshmallow, but whatever, no big deal.
Yeah, exactly. I know. You have to suspend a little disbelief, obviously.
No one taught these kids about the events in New York. No one remembered. No kid were taught that the Statue of Liberty was walking.
You never Googled your grandfather's full name?
Yeah.
I know.
You didn't know he was an important man?
A little silly. But yeah, go check it out, guys. Let us know what you think. We're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk some nerdy gift ideas. So we'll be right back. back. All right. 'Tis the season, Cristian. Time to buy some gifts for your friends. And if you're nerds like us, you have a bunch of nerd friends. So we thought it'd be cool if we could go over some fun, nerdy gift ideas for the nerd in your life. And we'll cover a variety of like categories too. I have 2. You have 2 categories?
I have 2 categories, nice. And mine is going to be like a game for Cody. So when it's my turn, I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. So do we not want to do like bounce back and forth?
Want me to just do bounce back and forth?
Okay,
let's do it.
So I kind of ordered them in price.
Okay.
So they go from pretty cheap to somewhat expensive. First one I got is these things I found on Amazon. So if you like us, you have too many comic books. Let's be realistic.
Not a
too many.
Statement.
Too many.
Not a thing.
Entirely too many. They're overflowing. And if you're lucky enough, you have some like CGC graded comic books, which are in the hard plastic. Generally, they're like vintage books or like high profile books that you have them graded and slabbed.
You could technically get anything slabbed, but ideally people only do the important ones.
Right, exactly. Ones that are pertinent issues and stuff like that. So I found these. I thought this was a cool idea for displaying those ones rather than just keeping them in a comic book long box or whatever. But these are called X-Float, X then Float, clear floating shelves for displaying comic books. And so basically you mount these little shelves on the wall and they basically clip into the CGC plastic case that's around it. And you can display your comic books up on your wall. I thought that was a cool idea.
It sounds like a cool idea, but I'd be like, okay, if sunlight's getting in here, it's going to bleach my comic books. Like, oh my God, I don't want to get them damaged.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to put them in direct sunlight. Now, I will say, Cristian, if you are worried about that, there was another company I saw while researching it that has UV resistant plastic. They're much more expensive.
I bet.
So this is a pack of 6 for $20.
Reasonably priced.
Very reasonably priced. Those other ones were like $40 for like one.
Yeah, makes sense.
They got cheaper as you bought more of them, so you could get a deal. But if like I would put them on a wall that's not facing a window. You know what I mean? And then you can see them.
Even then, you're just leaving them out for someone to steal.
I'm actually surprised that CGC doesn't like do a UV resistant plastic.
Yeah, you think they would, especially for the money you pay to get it graded.
Exactly. Well, once it says it on there, who cares if the pages get worse? The box still says they're good. But yeah, I thought that was a cool idea. They're called X-Float clear floating shelves. You can just search like CGC comic mounting, and they'll have like you'll find a bunch of different ways of doing it. I thought these ones were.
David had some like that at his old place. I think he has some at his new place.
Yeah,
David, for people who don't know, is my brother.
His brother. I've also seen if you're into collecting like vinyl, they make similar things for records too.
Yeah,
you mount them up. They're more like picture frames, but you can mount them because cool album covers, cool comic covers.
See, I got nieces now, and I'd be afraid. I mean, they're not going to be tall enough to grab it, but you don't watch them. They get a chair, they can grab it.
Put them up high. You worry too much.
It's investments, man. I got some expensive ones.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you put Amazing Fantasy 15 up there, Cristian. I'm talking like like some of your more fun ones, like some of the X-Men ones or whatever. You know.
I need to get some.
Got to put them on display. They don't do anyone good sitting in a dark box.
They do me good. They make me happy.
No. They'll make you more happy when you get to look up at them every day and be like,
that's true. Yeah. I would be happy if I get to see Amazing Fantasy.
All right, what's one for you?
All right, so I got a little game for Cody.
Okay.
He has to figure out if it's an actual gift, toy. Well, I guess they'll both be gifts. If it's an actual toy or a sex toy.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm down.
All right. First one. I'm just gonna mix them up. I'm not gonna do them in order. Magic hand.
That sounds like a sex toy for sure.
That is a sex toy. Yeah. And it's exactly what you...
Is it like this?
Yep. It's Cody fucking bought one is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I was going to be like, everyone has hands, but then I was like, that's not fair.
Not everyone has tiny rubber hands, though.
I guess they can flex.
Like, look at these. You want these up there?
Maybe.
No, not yet.
You have to little practice.
Not to start off. You
got to put one finger in like a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
One finger like prom night.
Yeah. There you go. So, yes, that is a sex toy, and it's exactly what Cody said. It's just a hand like that. Yeah. Which I was just like, just use your own hand. Save the money. But some people...
Yeah, you want a different hand,
Then I was thinking, not everyone has hands. That's not fair.
That's true.
But then how are you going to hold the hand?
I've seen people get creative with their lack of hands as well.
I bet.
Yeah. Or lack of legs, for that matter. There's a lot of weird shit on the internet, Cristian. I'll just put
There's
that up.
something for everyone.
There sure is. All right, next one for me. This is a game that I've been playing. I've played quite a few times this year, and I think it's a really fun game for people who are just trying to get into like board games and get out of your classics like your Clue, Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly. If you want to start branching out a little bit into some more complex stuff, get yourself a copy of Munchkin. And there's a lot of different versions. The one I picked specifically here was the Rick and Morty version of Munchkin, which I thought was really, really fun. And essentially what it is it's kind of like it's a monster battling game where each person is their own character essentially. And you're drawing these cards, and each card either has a monster on it or a piece of treasure on it. And you have different abilities that help you battle monsters more and more. And you're trying to level up to level 10 faster than anyone else at the table. So it's obviously a little bit more complex than that, but it's a really fun game. There's not a lot of setup to it. It's just like a couple decks of cards and then like one dice for rolling occasionally. But really fun. The Rick and Morty version is only $15 on sale on Amazon right now, $14.23. But they also have, I actually bought the Warhammer 40,000 version of it. I think there's Disney versions of it. There's like all sorts of different versions of Munchkin, but really fun game. And it's a good way to kind of like dip your toes into like a more complex, like board game, tabletop game. But you don't have to buy a bunch of extra stuff for it. And like anyone can pick up the rules after like one game and they'll kind of get it. So really fun game. Have you ever played Munchkin?
No, I want to.
We'll have to play it sometime once you get furniture at your house.
Still, guys, still no furniture.
What's next for you, Cristian?
All right. So you have to. Is it going to be a toy?
Okay.
Sex toy. E.T.'s finger.
Oh boy. I mean,
come on, Cody.
I initially want to say sex toy, but I think that's going to be a bait and switch. I think it's a regular toy.
It is a bait and switch. It is a toy.
Yeah.
But I think it could be used as a fucking sex toy because look at this thing, dude. What the fuck is that?
Oh my God.
It's like, what were people thinking when they packaged it?
Finger glows when pressed.
It's like this big. For podcasts, I know that's amazing. But it's about a foot.
Yeah.
It's definitely 12 inches.
From the 1982 original movie. Like that's an original one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put it, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see a picture of it.
It's ribbed.
Yeah, it's all veiny. Phone him. But
I think that one could be used interchangeably.
Yeah,
but
I think it was
marketed as a toy.
Double duty for sure. Yeah, I think you're right on that one. God damn it, pretty good, pretty good. How much was it on? It was
well, it's an '80s original, so you have to
vintage one.
Yeah, it's a vintage. So who knows? You're gonna have to go on eBay.
Oh yeah, look it up on eBay's. I bet they're going for some pretty good money.
What is it? Knickerbocker?
Knickerbocker. That's what the New York Knicks are. You know that?
The Knickerbocker?
Yeah, they're the Knickerbockers.
Oh, what's a Knickerbocker?
I
sounds racist.
I don't actually remember, but it's some old timey shit, you know. All right, well, you look that up. Next one for me. I thought this is going to be great for anyone who's playing D&D. Like you could do this they're not very expensive, so you could do it for your whole party, for your D&D party if you want. These are D&D spell slot trackers / arrow trackers. So they're essentially like a little magnetic board. I think they're like laser cut boards, and they have little magnets that stick on them. And they help you track your spell slots, how many spells you've used that day. And you just, like, once you use a spell, you stick one of the little magnets on it. I think it's really cool. And it's definitely good for people who have a hard time keeping track of that, you know. Or maybe people who like don't keep track of it and are fucking cheating. But it's pretty cool. They come in a variety of colors. I found it on Etsy, and they were $15.50 each, which is not too bad.
Etsy has a lot of cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
So weirdly enough, I'm on eBay for E.T.'s finger, and I guess there's a cactus called E.T.'s finger.
Nice.
But there's also someone on here selling a Cheeto shaped like E.T.'s finger, rare. E.T.'s extraterrestrial, ouch, E.T. Look at this shit.
$9.99 seems fair.
Very rare Cheeto finger.
people selling Cheetos shaped like things are fucking high. They're so high.
No, if they were high, they would have ate it.
Yeah. Dude, this looks just like E.T.'s finger, bro. All right, what's the next one for you?
All right. Another one. It's called Big Dick. Big Dick.
I mean, again, I think this is, knowing you, this is a bait and switch. But what could it possibly be? Sex toy.
No, it was a toy.
It was a toy?
It was a toy.
I should have gone with my instincts.
It was like from the 60s, and apparently it was like one of those like miniguns that's like on a tripod or whatever.
Nice.
It was just called the Big Dick.
Give those commie bastards some big dick over there.
Give him the old big dick.
Oh my God, Christian.
Just gotta hit him with the big dick.
Gotta hit him with the big dick. Okay, well, great. The next one for me, I actually don't have a picture of it on here, but if you're watching YouTube, you'll see pictures of it. And I'll put like...
Oh, I guess I need to find that one for you.
Yeah, find me pictures of those and send them to me for the YouTubes. This episode, but definitely one to watch. Check out our YouTube channel if you're listening to it, because we'll have pictures of all this stuff. Next one for me is it's a pretty selfish one because, like, you guys know me.
I typed in big dick toy and it's not.
You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that at all. The next one for me is one step further. Well, probably a couple steps further past Munchkin. This is going to be someone who's like interested in getting into the wargaming hobby. Who, maybe they painted a couple miniatures and they're really getting into it. This is a big dollar amount, but I've been having so much fun with mine that I figured I'll put it on the list. Warhammer Warcry Red Harvest. Now, Red Harvest is the newest starter box for Warhammer Warcry, and you guys have probably heard me talk about it a little bit, but essentially what it is Warhammer Warcry is a skirmish game by the Games Workshop using the miniatures from Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Warhammer Age of Sigmar is like their fantasy division. 40K is the sci-fi division. So this is fantasy based. So, we're talking elves, demons, dwarves, tree people, that sort of shit. And it's not as crazy advanced as playing actual Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So you don't have to build an entire army, of like 40, 50, 60 models. This one, you get a small, team or warband of about 10 to 15 models, and you battle against, another friend. And what's cool about this box set, inside the box set, it comes with the game board, which is just essentially a big cardboard board. It comes with terrain that plastic terrain that you build and paint if you want, that has like different like mining equipment and stuff. And then it comes with 2 war bands, one called the Dark Oath Savagers, which are like think Conan the Barbarian.
Yep. But
these barbarians have like pledged their allegiance to the Chaos Gods and stuff, so they're just out there murdering people. And then there's the Tarantulas Brood, which are like spider guys. Like they have they worship like a spider chaos god. So like some of them even have like extra little arms like dangling out of their torso. And so it comes with 2 full war bands. It comes with all the dice you need, all the terrain you need, the rule book on how to play. So it's everything you need to start playing Warcry. And what's cool about it is, if you get this set, you can start playing the game like right once you glue everything together. You can start playing right away. You don't have to buy anything extra, but you can if you want. It's a good starting off point for anyone trying to get into wargaming, and it's much easier to grasp when it comes to rules than the bigger versions like Age of Sigmar and 40K. That is $210. You can just Google search it. It's pretty much everywhere nowadays. But GamesWorkshop.com is a good place to start. That's who actually makes it. It's another one, Christian.
Next one, Man-Eater.
Man-Eater.
A toy. It's a sex toy.
I think that's a toy.
It's a sex toy.
Oh, man.
Dude, but if you look at it, it actually looks like a toy. Look at that thing.
Oh, yeah, it does look like a toy. What do? You put it up your butt?
No, apparently you put that thing's mouth on your dick, and then you jerk off with it. You can add lube.
Huh.
It looks like a legit toy that looks like a little kid's toy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a very sexy monster. Outer space waterproof vibrator. So maybe the ladies put it on their box.
Maybe it's both. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing with vibrators. You can really put them anywhere.
Purple people eaters are so 1958. Forget them and say hello to our new alien overlord, the most adorable green monster sex toy you ever saw. With a vibrating, ferocious mouth of joy, form-fitting. See, this is where form-fitting and curved to fit many penises, not all penises. With an easy grip body, 3 speeds, cycle through with them pushing on its belly. Aw, he pushes his belly and it goes faster. This little space guy is not a sleeve, but slides along the shaft.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, man eater. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. Now I'm really thinking
It's got 3 reviews, 5 stars.
Wow. With reviews like that, who would not buy it? My God. Okay. Last one for me, my most expensive one. It wouldn't be a holiday episode if we didn't shamelessly shill out to our favorite woodworking company, Wormwood. I don't think I ever did this particular one for one of these episodes, but this is the Magnetic Dice Tower gift set by Wormwood Gaming. The cheapest version of it is $228.
Nice, which is cheap for them.
So it's a little pricey, but here's what you get in it. You get a personal dice tray, for rolling your dice in. It's got leather bottom on it, so real fancy. This is made out of cherry too, and you can get it in different fancier woods. Obviously, the price goes up for that. Then it comes with a dice vault, which will hold 1 full set, plus your 3 extra D6s, I think, of Dungeons and Dragons tabletop role-playing dice in a matching wood. So it's a little dice vault box, and a magnetic dice tower, which those are really cool. Have you ever seen mine in person?
No.
Dice tower?
Hell no.
Because we play online, so it's hard. You haven't seen it, but essentially what it is it's all magnetic. So it's really strong rare earth magnets that hold everything together, and it sticks together in a certain order to make a dice tower. And the dice tower fits perfectly on the dice tray that comes with this. So you dump a bunch of dice into the top, and it rolls out and completely randomizes them and spits it out into the dice tray. So it's a complete set you need to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons. And what's really cool about it, because this is magnetic, you disassemble it and it fits inside the dice tray, inside the dice rolling tray, along with the dice vault, and it all comes strapped together with a leather strap. So it's like one little package they call the adventuring.
So fucking nice.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. I shamelessly bought myself one, though I kind of pieced it together after a while. I didn't all buy it all at once. But if you have a friend out there or a loved one who is super into Dungeons and Dragons or any dice rolling game, so like Pathfinder, Vampire the Masquerade, Gloomhaven, I think has some dice in it probably.
I think they're all 6-sided. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I almost bought that, but then I was thinking about it for that price, and it doesn't seem like it has a lot of replay value. I never did it.
Oh yeah. They do make things where you can get peel off stickers for Gloomhaven, so you can play it multiple times. But yeah, check it out. It's really cool, really nice. And again, you can get it in different kinds of wood. So, I mean, they have ones that go up to $1,000 made of Macassar ebony, which is a super dark hardwood from Macassar, I guess. But really, really cool, really fancy. And whoever you get it for will certainly appreciate it. Get it for yourself. Who knows? All right. Give me another toy or sex toy.
I have 2.
Okay.
I'll give you, this is the last one, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you 2. Silly sausage.
That is a regular toy.
That is a regular toy. It's like a bop it. You twist it. And...
Nice.
All right. Last one.
Nailed it.
Oh, there's a couple. All right. Bim Bim, the vibrating squirrel.
Sex toy?
Nope. Regular toy.
What? Why would you want a vibrating squirrel otherwise?
I don't know.
Other than to put it
I don't
up
think
your
I got
butt.
a picture of that one, but yeah, I mean, it lends itself. It's a rodent,
Yeah.
Rodents are famously used for the butt.
Yep.
It vibrates.
Yeah. What's his name? Richard Gere. Gerbil.
I wonder if that's true. At this point,
I
it
mean,
is.
who makes that kind of story up? It's so specific. It's not a hamster. It's a gerbil. It's not, Tom Hanks. It's Richard Gere. I don't know. Seems very, very specific. All right, give me one more.
One more. All right, let's see. Balzac.
Oh, no, that is a regular toy.
That is a regular toy.
I had one.
A Balzac?
Yeah. There was
marketed as like a ball balloon, which it's still a ball.
So here's what a Balzac is. And I went to, they had a store in Universal Studios, which is where I got mine. So what it is it's just an empty ball made out of cloth. And then you take a balloon and shove it into this one little hole and blow up the balloon, and it makes like a ball. It's fucking stupid.
You just blow up the balloon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but now it's like soft and it won't pop as easy because it's got cloth on it. I don't know, man. It is fucking stupid now that I think about it, but I do remember it.
Dude, that was someone like high on cocaine.
Yeah.
That was an amazing salesman that just pitched that to someone and just made like millions of dollars.
And why are we calling it Balzac again?
It was Balzac.
Yeah, Balzac. Like the artist. That's an artist, isn't it?
I don't know. All right. I'll do another one.
Sure.
Toypedo.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. It's either a dildo or it's that thing that you throw underwater that like spins like a torpedo.
That's exactly what it is.
It's the underwater one?
Yeah, it's the underwater one,
Nice.
Toypedo.
So,
Although
yeah.
it kind of looks like it could be sexy.
I mean, you could definitely shove it up your butt if it's the thing that I'm thinking of.
All right, Solar Bullet.
Ooh. Well, okay, so I know that bullets are generally what they call those little vibrators that they give the Japanese ladies.
Okay.
With the remote control.
Only Japanese ladies are allowed to use them?
It's the only ones I see using them.
All right.
Yeah, they like have like an extension cord coming out.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, Japan loves their electronics.
Yeah, for sure.
Or what was it called again?
Solar Bullet.
Or no, I think it's just that, but I think it's solar powered.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes!
It's a solar powered vibrator. Yeah, you leave it charging all day for 8 hours, and then it probably gives you like 20 minutes or something.
That's pretty well. You know, it's good for the environment. You know what I mean?
All right. I think the last one I have on here, jackboot.
Jackboot. Okay, I think it's a sex toy because you jack into it and it's shaped like a boot, like it's like a fleshlight, but in a boot.
You overthought it. It is a sex toy, but it's a paddle that you hit someone with. That it's flimsy, so it's not like stiff, but it's literally it looks like the bottom of a boot.
Oh.
So I guess like when you get hit with it, it looks like you got hit with a boot.
It feels like you got kicked in the ass.
Like why don't you just use a regular boot?
People are into some weird shit, you know. Like
We don't discriminate, but
yeah, I mean, you know, more power to you. If you like, you know, some of these weird kinks, hey, I'm all down for people, you know, getting the jollies off. You know what I mean? I think, you know, more people should talk about sex and be comfortable with it. But goddamn, some of the thought that goes into these things, I just, you know, maybe I'm just too normal or too like vanilla, where I would never have thought of that.
You know, I've seen some crazy, like, actually cool looking, like, colored and shaped, but also weird looking, like they'll do like alien dildos.
Yeah.
Or like,
well, they did a whole series of Avengers ones.
That's exactly. It's like you read my fucking.
Yeah.
My mind was there, and it had all the colors and like different shapes, and they looked like cool art pieces. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like if they were all displayed on a shelf, like that's kind of awesome. Not gonna touch it, but it looks really cool.
Just gonna smell it. Yeah, I know. I mean, there are some, you know, and there's some really fancy high dollar ones that like look legitly nice. You know what I mean? You know, they all don't look like, you know. I know we shit on the fleshlight a lot on this show,
but like,
I get it. Like I get that. You know,
there's no like. I was actually looking for like a fleshlight that I could put on this list for you.
Yeah,
but they're all like porno stars names pussy and
yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's not one that I could have hid in there, but none of them look elegant like the dildos that you see that women have.
Right.
Like, they all like here it is. It's a tube.
So let's talk about gender inequality for a second here, Cristian. You're right. You're 100% right. You know, women get the little bullet things where it's just like, oh, look at that cute little thing. I just, you know, jam in there. It's got a little Bluetooth remote control. Very easy, very discreet. Whereas guys
control with the app.
Yeah, 100%. Or it's like nice, slim, like silver, like cylinder that's like got 4 different speeds. And if you have it on a shelf, it looks like modern art.
Yeah.
With us, it looks like we're fucking a flashlight.
Yeah, it's all it.
Like,
you know what it is?
What is this gigantic flashlight you have under your sink? Oh, there's a pussy in it.
You know what it is? there's prehistoric. There's like ancient caveman dildos.
Yeah.
So women have been crafting these since the beginning of mankind.
Yeah, we've just been putting our dicks in like melons and shit.
Yeah. There's a fucking wet hole in the dirt.
Then suddenly, like 10 years ago, we're like, wait a minute. We have all this technology.
They're more advanced than this, Cody.
Let's have more advanced stuff to put our dicks in.
Yeah, no, they were crafting stuff out of like bones and stuff, or like
men
roots.
have been useless for a long time.
I mean, well, we came with 2 of them, so we only use one.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I could be hunting and like jerking it with the other one. Yeah. You hear about what they do in prison, where they take a rubber glove, like a latex glove, and put it in a toilet paper roll holder, and then you fill it with like wet toilet paper, and then they fuck that.
But
it's like a prison fleshlight.
I was saying, like, that doesn't sound appealing at all.
It's better than a dude's butt.
I don't know if I haven't had a dude's butt, nor have I had toilet paper, so I couldn't say.
Well, I mean, at least me thinking about it, I'd do that before a dude's butt.
I guess so.
I guess it depends on the dude,
right?
Maybe there's really, I don't know,
really hot dude in there. You don't know.
Yeah. Oh my, Brad Pitt, what are you doing in here? Yeah, finally murdered Angelina Jolie and all the kids. Jesus Christ, bro.
Like, bring that ass over here.
What a note to end it on, Cristian. Well, we hope we've given you guys some great ideas for your holiday gift giving, whether it's sex toys, regular toys, or, any of the nerdy gift ideas that I gave you. Let us know which ones you liked the best. And also, if you liked Ghostbusters, what you thought of it. If you like and subscribe, you can add a comment down on YouTube or on iTunes or whatever. We do appreciate that, guys. Thank you for listening every week as well. And if you want to become a patron of our show and help support us, help fill our stockings, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Very easy to find, and we do appreciate you. And we're very thankful for all of our patrons who help support us every month. That's why we raise your names up into the heavens.
And who knows, maybe if we get more patrons, we can just create like fancy, artful looking fleshlights,
Yeah, exactly. Of like our faces.
Yeah.
Like this.
Just judgment looking at you as you jerk off, just like all judgy.
Yeah. Judgy with our mouths open.
Just like,
why? Thanks for listening.
Please subscribe.
To all the nerds out there. Cristian, thank you for making this festive episode as dirty as possible.
That's what I'm here for.
First with sleepaway dicks and then sex toys. I appreciate that. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.